Now, Congressman Byron Donalds, Republican out of Florida. And sir, good morning to you. I want to get your thoughts on Ukraine. Here is Seth Moulton, Democrat from Massachusetts, says Trump's going about this entirely wrong way. Here is his view on that. Watch here.
I mean, imagine if someone came and burned down your house and they caught that person and said, oh, no, you're not going to pay for it. Kate, you're going to pay for rebuilding your house because some other guy burned it down. That's what Trump is doing when he's extracting this mineral deal out of Ukraine. It's immoral, it's unpatriotic, it's un-American, and it only encourages Putin to go further. So without security guarantees, get ready, Eastern Europe, you're going to be next.
I mean, he's kind of paving the road for World War III in that answer there. He said a lot. What do you think about it?
What Seth Moulton said was absolutely ridiculous. The United States has been in there to support Ukraine in this war. We spent more than $200 billion doing it. We didn't burn down the Ukrainian house. That's what the war did with Russia. All we're saying is we need to be paid back for us assisting you in maintaining as much of your country as possible. This war needs to come to an end. And furthermore, if Seth Moulton and the Democrats were doing such a bang-up job, why does it take Donald Trump to bring this conflict to a close? The reason is because nobody believed Joe Biden was strong enough to negotiate a deal between Vladimir Putin and Vladimir Zelensky. That is a fact. And nobody also felt that the Democrats were going to do anything to demonstrate that America does have a fiscal resolve and a fiscal responsibility to its citizens and to the United States first and foremost. And so what President Trump is doing is keeping his word on bringing this conflict to a close. That's what he said he was going to do, and he's doing it. But then also making sure that the American taxpayer is being repaid for the treasure that we spent in support of Ukraine. That is a good thing for the United States. And by the way, it's also sending a strong message to the Europeans that it is now time for them to step up and do more to defend their sovereignty and their national interests in Europe.
Okay, so Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, says the deal is done. We're going to see and hear from both men. Big press conference today at 1 o'clock. We'll carry that live today. Another topic on DOGE, $65 billion. That's the number we've been given. Politico says DOGE is now dramatically raising the potential for a government shutdown. What's your view on that? Is that where we're headed?
If that happens, that's because the Democrats do not want to do the necessary work of getting waste and inefficiency out of our government. Let's think about this for a moment. You have Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, and Democrat members of the Senate and the House basically saying that if there are DOGE cuts that we now know are ridiculous spending items that are not in the national interest, that they're going to shut down the government. Well, listen, if that's what they want to do, then Republicans need to move forward and support the DOGE and have those cuts. Because we're not going to be held hostage by Democrats wanting to protect their pet projects that are ideologically driven, that do not support the American people or the interests of our nation. And last thing I would say to the Democrats who are now saber rattling about wanting to threaten a shutdown, Donald Trump is president of the United States. He has a political mandate. He has an agenda that he ran on. And now if the Democrats want to defy the will of the people to protect their pet projects, they're going to realize very quickly that they're not going to have anybody on the Republican side of the aisle that's going to work with them just to keep the government open. We have to get the waste out. We're going to be committed to do that. We should follow those DOGE cuts and make sure they're in the spending deal that's coming up in a couple of weeks.
Okay, maybe the hottest story in Washington, D.C. right now. Last question. Your political future has you running for governor in Florida. I'm going to try and ask you the question a different way here. Do you expect Republican competition in that primary for that job?
I do. I mean, look, I would love for things to be easy, but nothing's ever easy, especially in politics or in life. It's very, very early. We'll see what happens. But listen, I'm just happy to have the support of President Trump. I'm glad that I have his endorsement and his faith in me. And my job now is going to the people of Florida, not just earning their vote, but earning their endorsement.
Okay.
And so I'm just going to be working hard at that while also making sure we get the president's agenda done on Capitol Hill.
As you know, Governor DeSantis thinks his wife is pretty prime for that job, too. So it could be very interesting. Thanks for coming on, Byron Donalds. Thank you for your time today.